Hello, this is Nia with the Rainbow Cauldron, and I'm here to do a three-person past life reading for S is her name. And all right, and I already did this reading yesterday, and here's a picture of that. I didn't have time to do the actual video yesterday, so I'm doing the video now. And S wanted to know about two people in her life, and I don't actually know her current relationship with these two people. Sorry, I'm trying to get the lighting right in here. My camera's a little bit funky, but so I don't know the relationship between these two people in your current life. So this reading is totally based on that, the fact that I don't actually know the relationship between you and these two people, and that's totally fine. I don't need to know, so it's not a big deal. Okay, and what came through was 4 lives. Sorry, the lighting is just kind of weird on my camera today. 4 lives came through, so that's going to be 4 cards for each person. The top row is going to be the first person, the male that you specified, and the bottom is going to be the female person that you specified. All right, so I'm just going to draw these cards. All right, this is the first card for the male friend of yours. For second card, this is the Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the Wheel, and the King of Wands. Okay, now if it's a reversed card, which these 3 are reversed, they're showing up upright for you from this angle, but these are going from this way. So from my point of view. So these 3 cards are actually reversed, and this one is upright. All right, and reversed cards in past life readings, the ones that I do, mean that you two were not together in this life. You guys were not born at the same and alive at the same time during these 3 lives, but you were together in this life. And I will still read the reversed cards as they do pertain to your past life. And then the bottom 4 cards have to do with your female friend, and this is the 8 of Wands reversed, the Star reversed, 7 of Swords upright, and 9 of Swords reversed. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. The 2 lives here and the life at the end, you were not with either one of them. And the one in the right here, the third one, both of your friends were with you in this life. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, so let's see. Again, I am sorry about the color of my camera seems to be a little funky today. I apologize for that. Anyway, okay, so we're going to start with life number 1, which is these 2 cards, and neither one of your friends were with you in this life, but I am still reading these lives. So let's see. Queen of Cups and 8 of Wands. Okay, so what's going on here? Neither were with you in this life. This is a quick life. Not in the sense that you died as a child. I actually believe you were very much an adult when you died in this life, but rather that things happened quickly for you. Rushed. You grew up too quickly, married too quickly, had children too quickly, and died too quickly, that sort of feeling. Just things happening before you're ready. Just a lot of things happening very quickly, without much thought to it. that sort of thing. I get the feeling with this life that it was constantly moving, and you often wished that you could stop and smell the roses, so to speak. You were deeply spiritual in this life, and we get that with this card, the Queen of Cups. Your gifts are like, you're deeply spiritual, intuitive, and I even feel like you had some sort of psychic ability. There's a deep connection with the spirit realm in this card, and your gifts were not known by others, and maybe not fully appreciated by your own self, as your mundane life was simply filled with a go, go, go type of energy. And that's what I get from this, is that you you had a very spiritual connection, but your mundane life, your everyday life, was just so busy and so go, go, go that you weren't fully able to appreciate the gifts that you had. And that's the kind of feeling I get from this. Things happening too quickly in this life, and really not taking the time to stop and appreciate things going by, sort of feeling. And then the second life, we have the King of Pentacles reversed and the Star reversed. And I'm going to show you these right here. There we go. All right, so I'm sorry, I have a little tickle in my throat. Life slowed down in this life. Your previous life was fast-paced, and you really craved stability and peacefulness, and that's something you got in this life. You were definitely a male, and we get that with this card. In the previous life, you were a female, by the way. Sometimes when the court cards come up, I can assess that someone was male or female based on the fact that this is a king and this is a queen, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just the energy sort of thing, and it really has little to do with your actual gender identity. But with this, I am getting a more literal sense, and I do feel like you were female here, you were male in this life, and we have that with the King of Pentacles and the Star reversed. Okay, so life slowed down. It's very relaxed, down to earth sort of feeling, but also we're still getting that spiritual feeling, and that's what we get with the Star here. It's not the same sort of spiritual feeling here. I don't feel like in this life you had the same sort of gifts, same sort of connection, but it is a very spiritual card, and we have 3 spiritual cards here: the Queen of Cups, the Star, and the Wheel. So like there's definitely some strong spirituality in your past lives, and in this life, I'm sorry, you had 2 children, and I feel like if your 2 children were not twins, they were very close in age. And we get that with the Star card. The Star often has to do with children. And what I always notice that she's pouring 2 vessels of water, and they're coming from her. This is the mother figure. And I almost always get a feeling of children, especially 2 children, and close in age. And probably even the same star sign. And I believe that you raised them on your own. I feel that your wife, the mother of your children, died very early on. And in fact, I get a strong sense that she probably died in childbirth. But aside from this obviously horrible tragedy, this life was actually very peaceful and happy. You never remarried. You worked with your hands, some sort of job that really made you very close to the earth. Some sort of, hands-on sort of dirt, soil, rocks, something that deeply connected you physically and spiritually to the energies of the earth. And that's the sort of feeling I get from this life. Excuse me. I am not sick, I swear, but I have a little tickle in my throat. Okay, and and this life, this is the life that both of your friends were with you. And I got some interesting feelings from this life. And it wasn't very positive. And I don't want to say that to scare you or whatever, but the energies that I felt connected you with these two people that are in your current life, and I get the feeling that they're friendly. You're friendly with them, or maybe even in a relationship with one of them, or I don't know. But in this life, they were both with you, but I don't think the relationship between you and them was a positive one. And that honestly doesn't really have much to do with your current relationship with them. In this life, it's an interesting pairing of cards. We have the Wheel and we have the Seven of Swords. I'm just trying to get a good picture there. Okay. And let's see. The Wheel symbol encourages us to trust in the flow of life. It symbolizes the pagan wheel of the year, which is the changing of seasons. After summer is autumn, then autumn is winter. After that, I'm sorry about that noise. Autumn is winter. After that is spring, and then summer again. It's just that sort of fact of life. The wheel is always turning. And she's creating her own circle, her own wheel, which shows that she is in charge of her destiny. We can also notice that, like the previous life, I'm sorry, these are upright. With the previous life, the woman here, you, is connected to the earth, just like you were in this previous life when you were a man, and you were a woman in this life. Sorry, I'm collecting my thoughts. Very connected to the earth, and this, but the Seven of Swords indicates a betrayal, dishonesty, a disruption in that flow. It's also a card that reflects work and the stresses involved with work. And I feel that your relationship with the second person, S, this was your relationship with S, was not a positive one. You two were co-workers, but you didn't get along. Now, just because you were not friendly with each other in a past life doesn't mean you would have a negative relationship in future lives. There's a very fine line between love and hate, and the energies between you two were strong enough that you continue to be in lives together, like now. But yes, in this particular life, you two did not get along, and that's a feeling I get very strongly from here. As for the first person, M, his energy is having a hard time coming through. And actually, when I did this reading yesterday, I had to draw an extra card to see some clarification on his relationship with you. And let me just pull my cloth back up here. And I pulled the Ten of Swords, and this is a very ominous card. Obviously not very positive. And once I pulled this card, this whole story seemed to come together. Um, the Ten of Swords is interesting. Again, we're seeing betrayal, defeat, the end of a bad situation, and it's really bringing a clearer picture here. You are the woman in the wheel, trusting, going with the flow. Somehow, M, the Ten of Swords, and S, the Seven of Swords, betrayed your trust. This is an interesting twist because the fact that they are both swords tells me that M and S were most likely together as a couple in this life. And I don't know how that makes you feel now, but in this past life, it seems that he and she were together. And I keep pushing the thought out of my head, but I really feel like in this life, there was some sort of love triangle going on. And the other two betrayed your trust. Now, that said, I have no idea what your current relationship is with these two people. I'm sorry about that. No information was provided about your current relationship with them. So this, so in this life, I'm definitely getting some sort of love triangle where you were betrayed. That doesn't necessarily mean the same thing will happen in your current life, though. So so don't start ending relationships or friendships over something that happened in a previous life. Those energies are there, but your life now is different than your previous lives. And it's the same with them, too. Their lives are different than their previous lives. And they may have felt justified in whatever actions they took in this life. And, you know, maybe they were. But in this life, we're definitely getting some sort of love triangle between him and her and you. And you know, here we're seeing a lot of trust. Trust that things are going to go smoothly. Trust that life is going to continue on, things like that. But in these two cards surrounding this card, we're definitely seeing a betrayal of trust. And it's very much connected to the two people that you're involved with. So that's the energy we get from that. And I know that's not particularly positive, but it's the energy that's coming through. And this final life, neither one of them were with you in this life. And this one is filled with stress. You were a man here, again, as we're seeing with the King of Wands. Excuse me. And I'm feeling that same on-the-go energy like in the first life. In this life, though, it's a lot more stressful. I also feel like you died too soon, and honestly, I feel it was very much related to stress, like health issues. This life is really giving you advice on your current life, and I don't know if I showed these cards fully. King of Wands and the Nine of Swords. This life is really giving you some advice and warning and guidance for your current life. Really a sense of taking care of yourself. Keep stress levels under control. And I'm sorry, this actually went like that. And, you know, this life is a life where stress really got to you. And sometimes you just need to stop and take care of yourself. And that's really a lot of the energies that are coming through with this life. It's very much a, I wouldn't say use the word warning, but it's kind of something you need to be aware of, that stress can affect you deeply. And be mindful of that and be careful with your health. Okay, so, and that's your 4 lives that came through. I hope this was helpful, and I know it's kind of disconcerting that the relationship between these two people was so negative in a previous life. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean anything about your current life. You know, energies are strong and they stick together. There are many people who hated each other in past lives and are now happy lovers and in their current life. It's that same, what I said earlier, that fine line between love and hate, and that's something that we're seeing here. The energies between the 3 of you were very, very strong, that you're now together in a current life. You know, they stuck together, but negative, positive emotions, a lot of that stuff kind of gets jumbled up in the spirit realm and that sort of thing. A lot of the emotions are more human qualities rather than spiritual. And so just because you had a negative relationship with the 2 of them in a previous life does not mean you're going to have a negative relationship in your current life. But maybe you will. That's, you know, obviously life has many changes and turns, but, you know, I don't want you to think that just because in a previous life it was a negative experience with them, that it's going to be a negative experience again. Because we don't know that. You know, you may go on and have a very, very positive relationship with the both of them for the rest of your life. So who knows? But all right, so I hope this helped, and I'm sorry it's just a little bit late, the video at least, and I hope you enjoyed it. And also, if you want a follow-up reading on one of the 2 lives, or well, the 1 life that you were together with both of them, just send me a message, and I'll try to get your follow-up reading to you ASAP, and it's totally free. All right, so let me know. Thanks so much. Blessed be.